Big Mouth returned to our screens just a few days ago, and with that, brought back all of the characters that we've grown to love over the past 3 years. From the outrageousness of Maurice the Hormone Monster and Coach Steve, to the introvertness of Missy, each character brings their own unique feel to the show, and it's what makes Big Mouth so great and so popular. So, in this video, I thought it would be a great idea to put all of the main characters in the show up against each other, and see which one reigns supreme. So who is the best character in Big Mouth? Well, let's find out. Before I go ahead, make sure you go over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. So without further ado, I'm BrainPilot, and here is Big Mouth Season 3, Every Character Ranked. Just to let you know, this video will most likely contain spoilers, so watch with caution. Number 9. Missy. Coming in at last place on this list, and my least favourite character in Season 3 of Big Mouth, is Missy. This is a character that throughout the whole of the 3 seasons of the show, I've just never really been able to connect with her. There are multiple occasions in Season 3 where she irritates me, and I just can't put her above any other character in the show. I feel as though she spends most of her time on screen whining, and for a justifiable reason at points, but even then, it's just so annoying. Number 8. Matthew. Although Matthew is relatively low on this list, I do still really like the character. He's somebody that's grown on me over the 3 seasons. In this season, I feel as though he had a heavier role in the show, and I liked that. We saw him go on a date with a guy that he liked, and although confident, we got to see a softer side to him, where he himself was nervous. We saw a different side to Matthew, including his family, and I feel as though his character has developed a lot since Season 1, and Season 3 just highlighted that perfectly. Number 7. Coach Steve. Coach Steve is a great inclusion in the show. Although throughout Season 3 he didn't really even play Coach Steve, but he had multiple jobs in different episodes, and to be honest, that suited the character perfectly. From being a mannequin in a store, to being a waiter being bossed around by a group of raccoons, only a character as pathetic as Coach Steve could make it believable. As well, what made him great this season was the transformation he underwent by the Queer Eye cast. He looked completely different. He got his old job back, and I can't wait to see what he gets up to in Season 4. Number 6. Connie. Connie is the hormone monstrous, and she delivers some great lines. We see her build strong relationships with both Nick and Jesse throughout Season 3, and with this came a more human side to the hormone monstrous. Like Maurice, she has some great lines that stick out in the show, for all of the wrong reasons and just being pure filthy. She's just as rude as Maurice, but in a more sophisticated way. She's an entertaining character to watch, and whenever she gets angry and her sassy side comes out, it always has me in pieces. Number 5. Jesse. Jesse, unlike Missy, is a character that has grown on me from the moment the show started, right up until the end of Season 3. We've seen this character go on a massive journey from being oblivious about her body, to battling with mental illness, and then overcoming it. She's extremely likable, and she's probably the most grounded character in the entirety of the show. Unlike the group of friends that she has so much love to give somebody, and always offers people advice with their situations and relationships. But she doesn't really get that reciprocated. She's gone through a lot in her personal life, puts on a brave face, and just carries on. She's a strong character that grows on me episode by episode. Number 4. Jay. Jay? Well, he's just mental. There is no other way of describing him. He gets with anything that he can and has a dirtier mind than Maurice, which is extremely hard to have. And also, he loves to do magic. The majority of the lines that he has crack me up whenever he delivers them. He's oblivious to the world, and it makes the character so great. He comes from a relatively dysfunctional family, and you do feel sorry for him in that regard. But in this season, we didn't visually see it as much as the previous 2. However, we did see him go and live with Nick and his family, which obviously highlighted that something was wrong. Another thing we didn't really get this season was his magic. And that's something that I did really miss, because a lot of the comedy that he delivers comes from that. Putting all of that aside, this character definitely deserves to be this high on the list. He's provided some of the funniest moments in the entirety of the show, and definitely in Season 3. Number 3. Nick. Nick is one part of the two main characters, and for half of the show, you follow him. He's a dorky kid who somehow in Season 3 managed to find his newfound confidence that I didn't even really see coming. When this character acts cocky, he does make me laugh because of how painfully cringy he is. Some of the best moments in the season for him came from when he was addicted to his mobile phone. He was obsessed to the point that he basically loved it. Nick Kroll is a funny guy, and he does a great job in delivering this character. We've gone on a turbulent journey with Nick, and it's one that I imagine will continue for the next few seasons. Number 2. Andrew. Andrew is Nick's counterpart in the show. You either relate to Andrew or Nick, and that's what makes the show great, because you can see yourself in one of these characters. Andrew is definitely the most tragic out of the pair, and whatever he gets up to, you know it's not going to end well for him. Whether that be taking nude pictures, trying to get with his cousin, or throwing somebody out of their wheelchair. His relationship with Maurice is probably what makes this character so great and hilarious when on screen. They bounce off of each other well, and their partnership is one thing that definitely makes the show so great. The character that I think is the best in the entirety of the show is Maurice the Hormone Monster. Without this character, the show would not be anywhere near as good as what it is. His tone of voice, his vile humour, and the way he's physically represented is one of a kind, and just pure creepy. He's exactly what you would imagine the dirty part of your mind to look like if it were to be real. Although he influences Andrew in the wrong way a lot of the time, you almost want a friend like Maurice to be there for you just to make you laugh. He has perfect comedic timing, and whatever he says, I know that I'm going to be laughing by the end of it. Just purely down to the fact that it's obscenely outrageous and rude. Like I said, if he wasn't in the show, it wouldn't be half as funny. So, there you have it. What I think the ranking of the main characters in Season 3 of Big Mouth is. Before you go, make sure you go over to my Patreon. Over there, you can get your hands on some exclusive content that's just for you. And also, I've just restructured it. Take a look and see what you think. As well, if you want to see what I've rated many other TV shows and movies, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. Comment a movie and I'll rate it over there. What did you think of my ranking? Who's your favourite character in Big Mouth? Do you agree with me? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. I'd just like to say thank you to my patrons B Cypher, Lucy Nathanson, and Fernie.